Welcome to another session of the School of Thought, Lunch and Learn. Today is going to be a special session, so it's going to be a little bit longer than normal, but it is a subject that we must talk about today. But first, I have a disclaimer. This serum, you know how usually when you go to the doctor before you get a shot, they'll let you know you're going to feel a sting. So this serum of truth is going to sting. And the first reaction is going to be denial. And then your next reaction is going to be anger. Denial, that's not me. She's not telling me, I don't do that. And then anger. How could she say that? How could she say that about me? How that's not me. She don't know my situation. So that's what's going to happen as you go through this moment of truth. Now, this situation is we're going to talk about when do generational curses start. We all talk about generational curses. We bind stuff. We want to kill stuff in generational curses. But I'm so sorry. My phone just keep ringing. Please put it on vibrate for me. Thank you. And we talk about generational curses, but we don't know where it starts. And today I want to bring a truth that's going to navigate you to where exactly does it start. Okay? So be ready. It's going to sting a little bit, and it's going to cause you to go to denial, and it's going to cause you to be angry, and it's going to probably cause you to react. It's okay. That's all the process of the truth serum that's going to go places. Now, what I wasn't sure if I should call it that your children is not your cash app or not, because I'm not trying to provoke an anger, but to bring an awareness of how we create a curse that starts in your children. Now, what my question is, what law or who created this law that when your father or when a father doesn't pay child support, he doesn't have access to his children? And I literally went and searched and found out that, is this a legal thing? And it's not even legal. So where was it created? How this thing came to a reality that when a father doesn't pay child support check, their access to the children is shut down. I want to show you this. In your brain, there is a part of the limbic system in your brain. It is very small, where the activation of anger, fear is in part of your brain. It is really a tiny, the end of a circle. That particular area, and you got to take my class and I'll give you the name and I'll give you more detail. That particular part of the brain created this curse. They created this anger. And then it brought to the children and it created a curse. Now, the father doesn't have access to the child because of the relationship or the marriage that did not work with the mother. So because now you didn't marry me, or the marriage didn't work, the relationship didn't work, I know how I'm going to pay you back. You no longer have access to your children. Until you give me some money, until you give me a check, you're not going to see your child. Watch this. Now, this frustration, anger, and hurt because your relationship didn't work is now redirected towards the children. So Here come the bus of this anger and frustration from your emotion, from your limbic system that is created. And now you're going to dump it on the child. Your daddy ain't no good. He's a deadbeat dad. He don't pay no money. He don't help take care of you. And now you're creating something in the child. Understand, the relationship between you and your mate does not indicate the relationship between a father and a child. He may be a bad husband, a bad boyfriend, a bad partner, but it does not mean that he's a bad dad. But you didn't give him an opportunity to even create a relationship with the child for you to even find out he's a bad father. Him not paying child support does not make him a bad father. It just make him not pay his child support where he should have. But the child should have a relationship with the father and let the child have its own perspective of their father, whether they feel their father is not a good father or not. And I'm sure you've seen the story even on television. Two parents that hate each other, really want to kill each other, mother and father. But when it comes to the child, the father loved the child, and then the mother loved the child. They take care of the child. That could happen. But what we have to be more aware and more conscious, and I really need you to book a session with me because there's a healing that needs to take place. So I'm not badgering and want to talk bad about mothers that do that, but I want to bring you to an awareness that you may not be aware or conscious that you are creating a generational curse, and while you're protecting and love your children, but you're actually hurting them. You shut all the access because you're trying to hurt him and kill the child in the relationship with the child in the midst of it. So now, if the child now loved the father and said, I want to see my father, I want to have a relationship. Here come the mother. How are you going to have a relationship with her? I'm the one that's been buying you stuff. I'm the one that's been taking care of you. Are you saying now the things that you do for your children is the reason why they should love you? I took care of you. Why you love him more than me, or why you love him at all? Because I'm the one that's been taking care of you. Unconsciously, you're saying that you're putting a dollar sign on your responsibility because I took care of you, so you should love me. He didn't take care of you, so you shouldn't love him. But it doesn't work like that. So I really need you to email me because my website is under construction at this time. So email me, coaching@josereyenterprises.com. and book a session with me because Father's Day is coming and it's time for relationship to be mended back together. It's time for healing to take place. And some of you have not been honest about your relationship with your ex-husband, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-partner. And you're afraid to tell your child the truth because you think they're not going to talk to you. They're going to be upset. So you led the child to believe that they had a bad father, but you never told them the truth. That you're the one that told them to stay away. You're the one that shut down the access. And unfortunately, some of you did not tell the truth that you had the child for a married man. And that's now the child feel rejected and not understand that it was created in an adultery relationship and you were not honest. So now you let the child feel or believe that they've been rejected. Why my daddy don't love me? Why my daddy don't want me? Why come my daddy don't come and visit me? And you're never told the truth that you knew he was married and you decide to be in a relationship and have a child for this married man. So all of that caused a reaction of a generational curse. How it happened. Now the child become bitter against not only their father, bitter against men, because all man is no good. Man don't take care. And then they start being attracted to the same avenue or the same type of thing that you've done. Now they're doing the same thing in their relationship and don't understand where this curse started. They don't even understand it's a curse that needs to be broken. So this is not one of those curses that you break through. I bind you, devil. I cast you out. It's going to happen through conversation, confession, repenting, telling the truth and mending the relationship back together again. So there's a lot of children now cannot even celebrate Father's Day because of this bitterness, anger, because of what was passed down from your mother to tell you that your father was a deadbeat dad. He didn't take care of you. He wasn't there for you, but you'll never tell the truth that you shut down the access because now you start using your child as a cash app. Because if you don't give me no money, you can't see your children. You don't pay your child support, you can't see it. I believed it so until I had to research because I thought it was a legal law. I thought it was a law because so many people are using it. They're jumping right there. That's right. You shouldn't see your children because you don't pay no child support. And that's wrong. I would say book a session with me because you need to be healed. You need to be healed. You need to mend yourself back together again. It is a part of the brain. That's where it comes from. That's where this curse was created from. The limbic system, the part of your brain that creates anger and gets stimulated by another part of your brain to release an action. The anger. Now you want revenge. You want him to pay. You want him to do this. And then the child in the middle wants to have a relationship, wants to love the father, but I'm unable to do that. For one thing, it will make my mother angry. If I talk, now you're giving the child a choice. It's whether you're going to love me or your father. It's whether you're going to talk to me or your father. It's whether you're going to be in my part of my family. Then you shut down the whole father's family because that's your child and he didn't pay child support. So the child doesn't know the other side of the family. All of that is a form of a mental sickness. You need to be healed. And that healing is not going to come from appeal, and it's not going to come through prayer. It's not going to come through casting out demon. It's going to come through confession, telling the truth and speaking it out and having a conversation with your child. Even some of you probably need to have a conversation even with the father. There's a lot of forgiveness that need to take place. Some of us are even sick in our body because of that type of lie, secret, unforgiveness, anger is hovering somewhere, a secret place of your mind that releases these toxic in your body that cause you to be sick. Especially if those of you, if y'all tell the truth, in the old days, there's a whole lot of secrets. You don't tell the truth. You hide everything, which cause you to be sick. So this is not the time that everybody's going to go out to my deadbeat dad. That became a rapping song. But if we bring out the truth, that sometimes even women use that as a weapon because they are angry because the man didn't marry them. He married somebody else. The man is not in love with them anymore, or he doesn't want a relationship with them. And then now the woman is angry, and I'm going to find something to use against you. And that's the child. So now the child don't know the father. The child hear bad things about the father. He ain't no good. He did that. Now he got another woman. Now he left this house and had another, not telling the child he already had a wife before he met your mom. Oh, I know this is going to be like really tough. And you're going to have all these reactions. But that's okay. It's all part of the healing. It's all part of the process. But if you want to be healed, if you really want to talk about this, if you really want forgiveness, especially some of your fathers maybe have passed, you still need to make amends in your heart because you are reacting to society based on that lie, based on that thought, based on that hate, based on that unforgiveness. And some fathers have walked away because they feel like they didn't have no choice because the mother is the one that's holding the reign of the whole relationship. And some men just don't fight it. They just walk away. And now they've been labeled. He's a deadbeat dad. Not that it's not true that there's no deadbeat dad out there. I'm not saying that there's no men out there that's supposed to do something that they're not doing. I'm not saying there are. I'm not speaking to those extreme. But I am speaking to there are women that have created this curse in their child that's causing their child mental pain, feeling rejected because of the lack of relationship with their father, because of the lie that they've been told about their father. It needs to be addressed and healing needs to take place. No, I'm not for exposing your mother publicly and telling everybody, look what my mom did. That doesn't bring any healing. So you could secretly call me, email me, coaching@josue.com, josueenterprises.com. And we could have sessions that is confidential, as long the end result is healing. The end result is to break this curse from the child that won't go to your grandchild and a great grandchild because of a secret that was kept years ago about your father. That now mother afraid to tell the truth. So the secret goes on years after years after years. You don't know the secret conversation that took place between your mom and your dad. You don't really understand the relationship between them. All you hear is the end result from an anger that was created in the part of the limbic system of your brain that released that anger. That's all you know. And it's time for the truth to be put out. It's time for us to deal with the truth. The father, the mother and father is very important in the relationship. And there are some, and I even have mentees that react because of lack of relationship with their father. Something happened. I don't talk to my dad. Why? Because he was a deadbeat dad. Because he didn't pay child support. Or he was never around. He didn't want me. Where did that come from? Who told you that? Did your dad sit there and tell you, I don't want you as a child? Did your dad deny that you are his child? Or if he did, why? Was there another person in the relationship? You have to even investigate to know the truth so you could stop this hate, that you could stop this revengeful attitude, because that's going in your bloodline. It goes in your bloodstream. It affects your cells. Not only it affects the cell in your body and your health, it goes to the bloodstream to your children. And then it goes to the grandchildren, because no one never addressed the fact that that wasn't the truth. He wasn't a deadbeat dad. Or there are some women that have children that never told the father the truth that this is his child. So the father doesn't even know that they had a child. And you over on the other corner, you hating him. And I remember seeing this this TV show, and I knew it was a message. And this young man grew up angry. I mean, volcano anger. That he was after who his mother thought that was, his mother said that was his dad. And he's having a whole different life. And he's having, other life he's living. And the child created a bomb to go kill this man because the mother was telling this child that the father didn't want you. He's a deadbeat. He never gave me child support. And she just had the whole story about him. And then he grew up with all of that inside, just growing like a laboratory of anger, volcano. And he found out who this man was. And what he actually did, he became an expert being a hacker. And he hacked his name and he killed them. He killed his whole life, and he put his obituary out there that he was dead, wiped out his account and Social Security. Everybody said he was dead. He was on an obituary because the young man knew how to hack the computer. And when they finally sat down to find out it was him, because he was still young, a juvenile. And he said, because my mom said, you hate me. My mom said you didn't want me. And the mother had to sit there and said, I'm sorry, I lied. He killed this man not naturally, but emotionally, and I guess, of course, his whole life, his bank account, everything, everywhere he went, they said, "Sir, you dead." He had to go to court. "I'm not dead, I'm here." But he was able to do that because of what his mother told him. And she had to confess and said, "I'm so sorry." She never told him that was his child. So she came up all that stuff because she didn't want to tell him for whatever reason. "I just never told you that was your child. So now I had to confess to this child. Now this child is going to pay, going to jail for what he did because of what his mother created in his mind about his dad, which was a lie." So his whole future has been changed. And mother future has been changed. Everything has been changed. Man lost a lot because of it and not knowing that he had a child. So because of that, because of things like that just keep happening over and over again, it's time for us to tell the truth. It's time for us to put it out there and confess, repent, and get healed. Book a session with me. I'll be more than happy to assist you to go on this journey of truth, to mend your relationship with your Father. Create your own relationship. Get your own perspective of who he is. He may not like your mom, don't want to be in relationship, probably don't want to hear her voice, but it doesn't mean that he don't love you. It doesn't mean that he don't want a relationship with you. It doesn't mean that he's not there for you. So you can't connect your relationship with your child relationship. Redirect your emotion and get healed. Redirect your anger from your child and stop killing your child future. Stop creating curses in him and then say that you love him and be healed. Book the session with me. And then I have the class coming up that May 30th and 31st. Discover the divine revelation of you. Make sure you register for this class, May 30th and 31st. It could be online or in person. I would love to see you in this class because it's going to be on. These information is going to help you to be better, to find the better you, to find the successful you, whether in relationship or your career, your business. I'm telling you, take the class and you will see. Because the Sweep Your Brain series, I'm breaking it down to different workshops so you will have time to digest the information and have time to implement what you've been taught, and you will see the difference. I promise you that. You will see the difference. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget, coaching@josueenterprises.com is the email. Book that session. Let's start the healing process. It's worth it. The relationship is worth it. Your relationship with your children is worth it. The relationship, even as a family, it's worth it. And it's time. It's time for the truth to come forth. It's time to bring down and break this curse from your children bloodline. It's time. So book a session, coaching@josueenterprises.com. And I look for you to register for the class. And thank you for allowing me to do Lunch and Learn a little bit longer today, because I know this subject is sensitive and I didn't want to break it down into pieces. And I know this serum is going to have a little reaction, anger. That's not true. That's not me. I didn't do that. He did that. The pointing fingers. But the bottom line is somebody else is suffering because of your denial, which is your children. Somebody, your grandchildren, is suffering because we keep denying, we keep pointing fingers. It's time to put it on the table and say, you know what? It's time for this anger to cease. It's time for this curse to be broken off of my family. It's time for me to move forward in a relationship and allow my child to have a relationship with their father. If their perspective is the same, that's between them and their father. It have nothing to do with you. So again, he may be a bad husband, a bad ex-husband. He may be a bad ex-boyfriend. He may be a bad ex-partner, but it doesn't make them a bad dad. And you have to give them an opportunity to find that out on their own. Give them an opportunity for that relationship to be created, for them to feel, and don't have your child feeling that they have to make a choice. Is whether you or their father. That alone, that's witchcraft all by itself. For the to feel like I didn't want to hurt you, mom, so I didn't choose my dad because I know you've been there for me, you've been taking care of me. There's no price on loving your mother, and shouldn't be no price on loving your father. So coaching at josueenterprises.com and book a session with me. And I will see you in the class. And thank you so much for allowing me to share this information and pray that to bring healing. And I bid you healing in your soul today, in your mind, in your